Hello, I'm Simon from Sophos Support. In this video, I'll guide you through the process of migrating endpoints from one Sophos Central account to another utilizing the Sophos API. Today, I'll show you how to prepare your devices for migration, which includes creating API credentials in the Endpoint API, enabling device migration in Sophos Central, and authentication using your new credentials. Then, I'll show you the device migration process using Postman collection as an example. And lastly, I'll demonstrate how to verify the migration using audit logs. Before you begin, you must have super admin access in both the Sophos Central environment you are migrating from and the one you are migrating to. This is so that you manage and add API credentials. Beware that only Windows endpoints support the API-based migration process. Now let's get started. On the source account, where you will migrate your endpoints from, you first need to add API credentials. This is done using the Endpoint API. Starting in the dashboard, in the drop-down menu, go to General Settings. Then go to API Credentials Management. Click Add Credential and give it a name and description. Choose which role to assign. For device migration, you will need to select Service Principal Super Admin. Users with this role can perform all API operations with full CRUD capabilities and access to queries. Click Add. This generates the credential together with a client ID and a client secret. Make note of this information. Be aware that the client secret is only shown once. Make sure you store this information securely. If this is lost or stolen, an attacker will be able to call APIs on your behalf and steal your data or cause other damage. To confirm the API credentials has the correct role assigned, return to the API Credentials Management and select the Roles tab. From there, you will see the Server Principal Super Admin role has one role member. If you wish to delete an API credential, select it in API Credentials Management and click Delete. Once finished, switch to the target account where you will migrate your endpoints to and repeat these steps. Next, activate device migration for both source and target accounts. In Sophos Central, sign in to the source account again. Open the drop-down menu and go to General Settings. Then go to Device Migration. Turn on Allow Device Migration. Set the desired time limit for migrations. We recommend you only allow migrations for a limited time period. Once these settings are configured, sign in to the target Sophos Central account where you intend to migrate computers to, and repeat the process to enable device migration in the target account. Once this is complete, your devices will be ready for migration. Now let's look at a few steps to get authenticated and start calling Sophos Central APIs. You can make API calls using various tools including curl and Postman. To demonstrate how API calls work, we will be using curl. In this example, we are running our first API call which will return the bearer access token. Open the command line and run the following command. You will need to replace client ID and client secret with the credentials generated in the previous section. Run the command, and you should see a successful response with the token. Please note that the token is valid for 1 hour. These can be used as many times as required within the 1 hour period. Next, you need to find your tenant ID, which is the ID assigned to your business entity by Sophos. Run this command. From the output, you can see the tenant ID and the data region for your Sophos Central account. Lastly, to list endpoints in your tenant, run the following command. You can now make simple API calls. Now, I'll perform the migration using Postman collection as an example. Your specific environment may differ. Input the source client ID, source client secret, target client ID, and target client secret. Run the authentication check on the source and target. Once authentication is done, you can then obtain the list of endpoints in the Sophos Central Source account. Next, start the receiver task. Then proceed with the device migration job. Once the migration job is started, you can check the migration status. Finally, you can review the migration results using the event logs and the audit logs in Sophos Central. In the Sophos Central Source account, go to the Reports tab and open the audit logs. You'll see the event send endpoints to another tenant. When checking the events list for each device individually, or by checking the events report, you'll see device registered with the new account. It's now managed by that account. If any devices have failed to migrate, you can filter device failed to registered with new account. You can filter the events report based on this event to quickly pinpoint any devices which may have failed to migrate. And there you have it. I hope you found this video useful. Check out the documentation for this video in the video description. For further assistance, view and post questions on community.sophos.com and go to techvids.sophos.com for more great videos like this one. Thanks for watching.